We're live.
And bonjour. So this is a special podcast today, Bruno and Judith show, live from Berlin at the ESMO AI conference. We have probably a little bit of a technical difficulty with driving our executive producer here. She's crazy today, Judith, right? But we're live. And what we're going to do is two things today, Judith. Number one, I'm going to try to give a little bit of a sense of the exhibitor hall by moving left and right against the good advice of our executive producer. And then we're going to go to the poster that Judith and her team has built, and we're going to talk about the research right?
We're working on.
We're working on. Before that, a quick infomercial. LARVOL. So here's the way I like to present ourselves these days. Our goal is to be the best in the world at one thing, and something relatively narrow in some ways, but very, very important. The intersection between cancer data and AI, but not any intersection. We're focusing on a very specific type of cancer data from clinical trial. And our goal is to create magic at that intersection. That's my new pitch. Yeah?
Yes, I like it.
And so we do things that are hard, ideally things that other people not only don't do, but cannot do. That's LARVOL, and that's LARVOL Clean, our main product. Before we talk about the poster, we're going to give you a bit of a walk through the exhibitor hall. So this is the first time that ESMO organized this conference.
Yes, but we have a date for next year's.
We have it at the same
It
place.
looks promising.
Same place. Now, I was about to say the first time it shows.
Yes.
ESMO actually is a very good organization. They do a nice job. In some ways, they're really leading in terms of the creativity and the innovation, the way they organize cancer data themselves with their guidelines and exhibitor hall. Two pharma have a big booth, AstraZeneca, as often, and also J&J.
Yes.
Servier, Daiichi, thank you, others are also sponsoring.
Yes.
We also had Google, right?
Yes.
DeepMind.
Yes. Some presentations, some keynotes.
And just before going back to the poster, of course, in any conference, the core of the place is the big 3D logo of the conference. So here's the famous I think beautiful logo of ESMO.
Yes.
Here we are. Here we are. ESMO, Berlin, Germany. So now let's go back towards our poster. I've got a couple of other comments before that. So we saw a number of vendors and a number of conversation and topics. There are a couple of topics that came to me, Judith. One of them is a new term that we haven't used before, but I think we're going to use a lot.
Yes.
And it's a term, and I'm going to ask you to define it. It's a term LLM jury. LLM jury. So, what is that? Reach your conclusion, explain the rationale,
Exactly.
and cast a vote.
Yes. Yes. They would be contrasting. They would be comparing, and you get the final
Yes.
result.
So that's a trending term here, and we realized that we were doing LLM jury without knowing it. Without knowing it. So there's a second term that came. It's actually the whole idea of digital twin.
Yes. I got distracted. Someone was stopping by our podcast. What you would be getting into real world, right? So, which would be like, for instance, in our particular use case, would be like being able to have this poll of 100 oncologists, right? Would they vote, or what would they think if you were given a specific use case?
So in a sense, the LLM is replicating the sort of expected behavior, thinking, opinion of an oncologist. And so some people do that with patients as well. And ultimately, the assembly of these digital twins can create a panel, a little bit like an advisory board.
Yes.
And that advisory board can be queried. And that's essentially what we realized, that what we were doing, although we didn't use that term, was very much a trending topic. So we have enjoyed it. It's been actually, because it's smaller,
Yeah.
people have been very friendly.
Yes. Yes. Very approachable.
And
Very interesting topic.
we met both a lot of our pharma customers and prospective customers, and also a number of vendors who are very friendly, including a lot of French people.
Yes, definitely. I guess they are close.
So before we move to the poster, and I can pretend I'm just someone walking by interested in the data. Anything else from the conference you want to mention to our audience?
I must say, like, it's been really interesting from the perspective. You can see that how AI is evolving, how it's becoming more integrated into the daily lives and daily pipelines that people are working with in oncology in many different aspects as well. So it's been enriching.
We did meet a mid-sized biotech company who said that most of their pipeline, the most maybe high-profile part of their pipelines, all came from in silico.
Yes.
Actually, the name of the company is in silico medicine, but came from in silico approach to drug discovery. And so it's really fascinating. We know that developing drugs is particularly long, and I used to mention the rule of 10. So it takes 10 years. The chance of making it from the sort of the from the mouse to human is 1 out of 10, and then from first in human to the market, 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
Think about it, rule of 10, right?
Yes, yes.
The odds are terrible. I mean, it's very hard to.
Chances.
So, in your career as a drug developer, let's say you're a very respected, very successful developer. Maybe one of your molecule or none
Would get.
would make it to the market. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's
And
reality.
despite that, we have to continue because ultimately that's what matters to patients.
Yes.
Moving that curve of survival a little bit each time in order to make these terrible diseases more chronic. So, on that note, we're gonna walk to the poster itself. There we are. So let's pretend I'm just someone walking by, and I say, "Oh, look at that.
Yes.
LARVOL. I think I heard about the company.
Yes, right? Sounds familiar.
Sounds familiar. What is it? What have you done?
So basically, I guess as most of you would have heard already, we have the Clean platform. So we cover over 100,000 clinical trials. And in this particular poster, we were focused on the data that was collected on ASCO 2025. So if we move a bit there, yes, we can see that at ASCO, over 2,000 trials had data disclosed. And that meant over 4,500 posts from the over 6,000 digital opinion leaders that we follow on X, right? So we will be capturing those posts, and on top of them, we apply a layer of AI. So we do few-shot prompting with using ChatGPT 4o, where we are able to identify which would be the sentiment associated to those different posts, right? So whether is it a matter of practice changing, meaning that it's a potential shift into the standard of care, emerging regimen potentials, so practice informing positive outcomes, mixed sentiment, or even negative sentiments. So, and that's very interesting because we are even able to call out the reasoning behind it, right? Like it's a matter of cost reimbursement, trial design, or is it a toxicity problem? right? And and in this case, we took it one step further, and we did a correlation analysis between the views and the sentiment associated to those trials. So thanks to that, and let's shift it to here, there. So we have been able to identify which are the top trials that were presented on at ASCO, and this is done classified by practice changing potential based on the posts that were shared on X. And in here, yes, if you want, I can take it. In here, we can see the heat map from the comments that were shared on X by the different DOLs that we follow, and then which are the top rated trials. And we can see in here as well, which would be the top trials, and more particularly the views associated to those top trials. And we were able to find that there's a high significantly correlation between the top trials and the likelihood of being practice changing and those comments, as well as the positive rated comments, compared to, for instance, to the negative ones. So, yes, back to you. No.
Thank you very, very much. Uh, so, uh, this year, 2025, we submitted about 10 or so
Yes.
posters with your team, right?
Yeah.
Of researchers. And we had a good percentage of them actually accepted as, as abstract and as publications. And in 2026, the goal that we have is
We have raised the bar. It's going to be 20.
20 submissions. So that's going to be a lot of work.
Yes.
But I know you and your team have a lot of interesting data. So I think there's going to be a terrific year of publication. So we're going to close the podcast in a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
We appreciate everybody listening, asking questions. Don't hesitate to post a message. Let us know if you have questions. And also, if you would like to try a platform, have access to our data, or have a call with us, we love talking about what we do. And to us, data is obviously important, but we also keep in mind that behind the data, there are patients. When the survival curve shifts toward, going down, it means that the patient unfortunately dies. And so we keep reminding ourselves that data is not everything. At the end of the day, it's connected to people's situation and life. So thank you everybody for any final words, Judith, before we close the podcast.
I'd say that if you're interested, just ping, and we will be having one more day here at ESMO AI. So please, like, stop by us and like stop us, or we would love to chat.
Thank you very much. Au revoir.